name is Dr. Stephanie Pierre, aka Siren Creatrix. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? How are you guys? How you doing on this Tuesday? You're in the studio. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Are you there with Joseph? I gotta come by. I know. I definitely have to come into the studio. Is there like a good day this week or? Totally want to come by. I would love to. Me and my girlfriend, we got some things. We gotta lay it down. we need something to lay it down on. Okay. So I wanted to come on here and oh, did I tell you I'm making a music video right now? So my song Python, you know my song Python, the one that I did with my girlfriend? I think I let you listen to it. We started making a music video. Okay, all right. Well, I'll message Julia. I'll get together and we'll find out what day is good to come by. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'd love to swing by. So, but we just got back from Hawaii and we started filming for the music video some clips in Hawaii. But there's more. So actually, I want to talk to you about that. I love that you just ended up on my fucking love stream because oh my God, like this is, I love this. This is so great. I want to talk to you about this because yeah, I don't even want to say anything more. I'll just wait till I see you in person to talk about this because you do music videos too, right? Yo, it is so time that I let it rip again in the studio. Like for reals. For reals. Thank you. Aw, that means so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So, all right. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a bit about, because I've been having some people that have been asking me, because I have, that vocal run that I did. I don't even remember what song that was. I don't even remember what it was now. That's so funny. But anyhow. You make beats, right? And you do videos. Perfect. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the essence of Mercury, okay? What Mercury and the Mercury retrogrades, what they're all about. I love this. Like, I am so stoked. Like, you don't even know. You just made my day, like, woo! Like, opened it up like mass. I love it. Okay, so this is exactly what I, wanted to riff about because, I've got a couple of programs right now that I'm running. And I've been having people asking me like, oh, what's the difference between the two? Hey, Blaine, how are you? And so I thought I would just get on here instead of like, doing all of these messages and, and or post or whatever. You said some in a different language on that run. Oh, I might have been doing like an Italian aria. Like, who knows? I don't like, because like that's how I was trained classically. So, my background is in, not, I wouldn't, I mean, I don't consider myself an opera singer, but that's my background is classical singing. So Italian arias and things of that nature, I might have been singing in Italian, I don't know. Something like, uh, si tu sospiri sol per me gentil pastor. Something like that. I'm not even feeling like that right now. But, let me just like warm myself up a little bit. That was it. I've got my my sound, one of my sound bowls here, Tibetan sound bowls. And I love warming up with this. One of my rituals. This is actually part of the ritual magic that I do in Star Disco. Star Disco is heavily, let me not talk so much, I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. All right. So we opened it up with a little bit of movement. You're gonna tag me in the post. Oh, where I was ripped, the one where you recorded me singing? Oh my God, I would love that. I would love to hear that. Yo, okay, you don't even understand right now. Like what you and I are doing right now is exactly what I wanted to come on here and riff about. So this is okay, so I don't know if you know this, but I'm an astrologer as well. I'm a doctor, I'm an astrologer, I'm multidisciplined things, but I'm really, really passionate about astrology. And Mercury retrograde is about to come up. And so Mercury rules over business, commerce, like the flow and exchange of money, the flow and exchange of ideas, self-expression, communication, travel, as well as health and healing. And so one of the things that happens that's very common during Mercury retrogrades is you connect with people that you haven't seen in a while. It brings people back from your past. This happens a lot. I don't know how many times people will be like people connect with their exes. Like a lot of times, if you've broken up with somebody and then like the ex comes back into your life, like that's something that happens. But the real reason why, this is happening is it's an opportunity for us to go back and reflect and really process and integrate the past 3 months. So I want you to just think about how much think of how much information that we're constantly all the time consuming. We're constantly consuming information. We're constantly sorting through and processing through data. And if you are a mercurial type person, you're doing that even more so. So if you're a writer, if you're a content creator, if you work with numbers, if you if you're in sales, you're an entrepreneur, like you're constantly like moving and grooving and doing things, right? And the thing is that we are not physically able to fully oh, hold on a second. Let me just see. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Weird. Okay. Well, all right. So I'm just like freaking out right now. I mean, I'm freaking out, and at the same time, I'm not, because this is you can't make this shit up, right? Like this is synchronicity. This is the power of what Mercury retrograde is all about. It's the synchronicity highway. And so for those of you who are new or just chiming on, like I've been on for a few minutes, but right away I just connected um, with somebody that a music producer that I haven't seen in a really long time. And I'm actually right now, and he does music videos. And so, I was sharing with him that um, that hold on a second, that I just started making a music video, and that I completed the first, like our the part in where I went to Hawaii, and now we're looking for some more people to collaborate with and to move the project along. And lo and behold, boom, exactly what I need at exactly the right time. Because I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was jamming. I wrote about this, that the next phase of this process of creating this music video is going into the alchemical Mercury retrograde motifs. And so boom, right here, right in front of my lap, like literally I didn't even have to, nothing. It was just like right here as I'm about to get on and talk about the Mercury retrograde, and really talking about FAE, the art of writing your own fairy tale, one of the programs that I'm in launch for right now. And here we are, like I just reconnected with him. And boom, like this is how this works. So, all right. So it's, something that really like that I wanted to, speak to about, just like why you should even care. Like, what is the actual value of, um, you know, of this, right? Is, 96%
and I've said this before, and you'll hear me say it again, and I'm going to say it again, is 96% of people actually create lasting change in their life. Meaning when they realize, like, like I need a change, I want to do something and I want to change a pattern, I want to shift something, and I want to make it last. I want it not to be something that, is just like, this is coming up for me again. And I want to distinguish the difference between when things come back, to our life, and it feels like we're in a circle. Like it feels like, oh my God, I can never get past this thing, right? Or the same thing keeps on happening to me, right? Or it's like you're trying, and you feel like you're fighting a losing battle. Let me know in the comments, which by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know. And I want, you to let me know, is there something like that you're experiencing right now in your life where you're like, I've been trying really hard. I feel like I've been doing all of the things and nothing seems to shift. Nothing seems to work. And, or you feel like you're fighting a losing battle. You're uninspired, maybe feeling confused, maybe feeling lost, maybe feeling mentally overwhelmed, maybe like you're anxious. You don't feel like you have enough time, perhaps. Um, Something just feels off. Something feels off. And so 96% of people, okay, so here's the difference, right? Is when 96% of people actually don't change, like create fundamental lasting change in their life. And then, those that do, what will happen is they'll experience what's called a spiral, where it's like they'll have something come back, that might be very similar, like it's the same core wound or same, because our wounds we never get rid of, and I want to be very clear about that is, sometimes, or if you're new to the journey, or even if you're not, you can forget that you think like, you've done all this work and it's like, and now you're done. It's like, it's a one and done thing. And that's not how life works. It's like, it's never over. Our work here is never over. There's always more. There's always, more to explore, more to expand, more to grow into. And, and I want to speak to this as well. Something that, can happen too is, people falling into that trap of only, getting support, only getting guidance, only, choosing to initiate themselves when there's a problem. And I'm not saying that you should be going looking for problems or that you should be like poking at your wounds like unnecessarily. But this is why you'll also hear me say, dig your well before you're thirsty. Because life is about change. And before you know it, if you wait until something goes wrong, if you wait until the last minute, then number one, it's much harder to actually, change and adapt to what's happening. It's like, it's dig your well before you're thirsty, as the expression goes. Hey, what is up? Natalie is in the house. Oh my God, this amazing woman, goddess, pole with soul. If you're into pole dancing and erotic, like tapping into your aliveness and your erotic energy, go and follow this Chica. Okay, so I have to tell you that you just can't make this shit up. You literally cannot make this shit up. So I came on here with the intention because I've been getting questions about what's the difference between my programs? What's the difference between FAE, the art of writing your own fairy tale, and creme de la muse, the mastermind, and all of these different things, right? And so I was just like, let me just come on here and just, be efficient with my time and do a live stream. And the very first person who jumped on here, like I kid you fucking not, is a music producer that I haven't like spoken to in a while. And I was sharing with him that I'm making a music video and that, we went to Hawaii and now we're on to the next phase of that. But the plans that we had for the next phase are now not like, we're not going to work with these people anymore. And so now we're looking specifically for a music producer, a studio, and somebody who does music videos. And this guy does all of that. And it was just like, I didn't have to look for it. It literally falls right. It's a synchronicity. It falls right into my lap as I'm about to talk about the Mercury retrogrades. And that's exactly what the Mercury retrogrades do is it's a return. They bring people back from your past. It's like the missing piece of information that you're looking for. It's like if you're ever in a position where you're just like, I feel like I'm missing something, like I'm missing the right person, or I'm missing a piece of information, or I'm looking for somebody to solve this problem, to be that piece in the puzzle, that is my life. I know, it was just like, I was just like, this is so great. This is so awesome. So boom, here he is. And, he's just like, come by the studio like any day this week. And boom, it's like, it's done. You know what I mean? So you just can't make this shit up, So that's what I started out this riff on, right? But then I was going into, what was I going into? Oh yeah, I was talking about, this feeling of feeling like, oh yeah, that I'm on a mission to change the fact that 96% of people, that when they're wanting to change something in their life, when they're wanting to make lasting change in their life, only 4% of people actually create lasting change in their life. And what I mean by that is the situations where you make change and it's not like something where it's like you take 2 steps forward and then, and then you feel like you've gone backwards. Like you're not, it's like the same thing keeps happening. It's like you realize that like nothing really fundamentally is changing, and the difference between the evolutionary spiral, which is where, it's like the pattern might return, but when it returns, you're in a different position. It's like you're not down here anymore. It's the core wound and or the core pattern, because we don't want to get rid of our wounds, right? The wound is how the light enters us. It's actually our medicine. So it isn't about, getting rid of the wounds, or it's not like, this is forever work. It's never a once and done. But when the pattern returns, you're in a totally different position. And it's a different part of the spiral. You're going through that expansive spiral. So that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that 96% of people, and this includes people that hire mentors, this includes, people that do programs and listen to podcasts and all these things. And the reason why that is because you are literally going against the grain. Hey, Sophie, meaning your brains, the story, the narrative, the scripts, the stories that you have running in your brain, they create these grooves in the brain, these neural pathways. And so whenever you want to change your story, when you want to rewrite your story, when you want to change your narrative, it takes tremendous energy. because you are literally working against the grains that your brain is already. And the thing is that your brain runs on efficiency. Your brain runs on logic. Yeah, brain against the grain. You love it that it rhymes. Yeah, well, girl, that's Mercury right there for you. That's Mercury. Words with magic in the house. Hello, Abdo 11 Muhammad. What's up? Okay, so you have to work against the grain. And so, and this is why a lot of people just either they give up, meaning it's like, and they get to this place where it's like, I've tried everything. So, like in the last Mercury retrograde program that I did, Unicorn Legacy, one of the things that I kept on hearing my unicorns and or my clients tell me is they're like, I've been doing money work for forever and nothing seems to shift. I feel like I've done all of the programs, I've done all of these things, and nothing really changes. And this is why, is because it's not just about mindset. And there's a couple of reasons why. One of them is the brain, like you're going against the grain, like literally, and it takes time. And I'm going to talk to you guys about time because that's exactly what this Mercury retrograde portal is for. I'm like so fucking stoked. Like I cannot wait to share with you guys about this because it has been a game changer for me and it's been a game changer for my clients. And the fact is this isn't new information. This is something that is really old. There's a reason that astrology is still around. It is science. It's based on frequency, energy, and vibration. However, it is occult knowledge, meaning it's been hidden. It's something that has purposely been hidden because I'm not going to go into that whole riff right now. Let's focus. Let's focus on what's important. The fact is, and the fact remains, is that there is already built into nature, there's already built into the cosmos, the perfect synchronistic portal that when you're at a place where you're feeling like a hot mess, when you're feeling like, I need a change, but I don't know fucking how to do it, where I've tried everything and it just feels like there's a glitch in the system. This is what the Mercury retrograde portal is for. Now, what gets me all like, well, let me be honest. Do I get really so upset about it? Like, I mean, I kind of do and I don't, but let's put it this way. I'm passionate about it. I am passionate about changing culture. Okay. I'm passionate about changing culture because culture is the overlay that we live and we breathe in. So when you change culture, you're changing the environment in which the mass consciousness is operating and existing in. Okay? Culture is one of the things that actually creates culture is language. And this is why I love Natalie, Pull with Soul. I gave her a shout out earlier. She has a very unique way of being with language, of speaking with language. And I know this in my soul. I'm getting all of the chill bumps now. This is a key way that we change our reality is through the words that we're speaking. Because the words that you speak is abracadabra. You're casting spells all of the time. So it's like, and when you start like, all right, let me give you like an example of in English, for example. And this is there's just like so much. And it's like, I go into all of this in the Mercury retrograde edition. So we talk about language and, all right. So I'm going to give you an example. In English, we say, I am 38 years old. I think I'm 37. People ask me all the time, like, how old are you? And I literally have to be like, start counting because I forget. Like I literally do forget. But I believe I'm turning 38 this year because it's 2022 and I was 84. So I'm 37 or I have 37 years. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, just wait, just wait. Like you're gonna geek out even more. So yeah, it's not a coincidence. Like if you're in my world, like that's how I roll. Like it's never a coincidence, you know, like, and I get all the chills just like, yeah. So hold on, let me take a sip because I'm getting like super excited and I'm like, woo, getting hot. Mm. Okay, so in English, when you say your age, time, okay, you say, I am 37 years old. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the screen like that. I am 37 years old. In Spanish, you say, yo tengo 37 años. Yo tengo 37 siete años. Okay? I have 37 years. There is a exponential difference between saying I am 37 and I have 37 years. Because when you say, and there, I could even break that down even further, but I'm not going to. But when you say I am, what you're doing is you're attaching your identity to 37. You're creating a whole identity of who you are. You're limiting. That's actually what words do. Words create boxes and limitations. They're masculine in nature, meaning they create straight lines and order, and they put things in boxes to organize and create structure. They create the vehicles through which energy circulates. Okay, it's the pathway. They create pathways. That's what words do. They literally create pathways. So the words that you choose to say can either limit you or open doorways. That is actually one of the great gifts of Mercury is it's the key. It opens doors. It opens pathways that were previously unavailable to you. And because either they were locked or you create new ones. And how I actually really feel about that is that they're always here. It's always available to us. It's a matter of revealing it, being able to see it. And that's a whole other dimension. That's where now we're talking about optics, light, being able to see something. How many of you have heard the expression, I'll see it when I believe it? It is human nature and logic to only believe something when you see it. When you see something, then it's like, it's true. But if you can't see it, you have a really hard time backing it up, trusting it, or believing in it. Let me know if you resonate with that. Yeah. So what astro magic is you're working with the light, the celestial fire. You're working with different light from the stars. So when you shine a light on something that was in the shadows, something that you couldn't see, something that you didn't have awareness of, it was always there. Just like the money is always here. There's billions of dollars circulating right now. Like right outside of where I live right now, I don't know if there's billions, but there's easily thousands, maybe millions. I'm not quite sure. Like I'm in Coral Springs, Florida. So that's also another thing, depending upon where you live. Anyhow, that there's hundreds of thousands of dollars circulating right now, right where I live. But because if I don't see it, I'm like, well, there's no money right here. I don't see it. Where is it? But it's here. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, doesn't mean that it isn't there. Once you see it, that's how you get access to it. That's what magic is. Magic, you're pulling light out of the darkness. Voila, something wasn't here, now it's here. It works based upon light. So when you start working with, you're channeling the light of the stars, what you're doing is you're getting access to an alternate energy system. It's like really good sex. I love using this metaphor. It's like, I can get off really fucking good self-pleasuring. I can get off not touching myself. I know how to orgasm walking down the street. Okay. It is a whole other fucking ball game when I'm making love with my man, because it's now you've got two forces coming together. That's double the energy. It's double the expansion. It's double the, or maybe even more. It's like because when you're going after what you want, you've got your desire, right? Like that's a certain amount of energy. Now you add another person and it's exponential. There's a synergy that's created. So this is the same thing with astro magic, is you're working with your personal desire, and then the desire, you're aligning with the desires of the cosmos, of the quantum field. And when you do that, you illuminate things, you're shining a light, you're able to see it with optics, something that was always there, but you just weren't able to see it. That's like a very scientific way of explaining to you magic, because magic is science and science is magic. It's the great myth of the past several thousand years that science is not magic and magic is not science. And this all belongs to Mercury. This is actually the domain of Mercury: numbers, science, arithmetic, writing, reading, words, magic, alchemy, astrology, healing, money. Money is numbers, business, commerce, communication, problem solving, all Mercury, all Mercury. So where was I? I know I went on a kind of tangent. Oh yeah, so I was talking about you saying it's a world of difference between saying your identity, right? Like this identity, we create these identities based upon the words that we're choosing to say. So, but because, it's like, how long does it take you to learn a language? And this, even this other thing, like if you want to get good at learning new skills, you have to become a better learner. The only reason why, like let's say, for example, you take a course on how to, how to build a business, or you're taking a course on to, make more money, or you're taking a course on to how to redecorate your house or whatever, learn a new language. The difference between the people that get it really fast and the people that it takes longer is some are better learners than others. Doesn't mean that they're better than others. It just means they're better at learning. They're better at learning and unlearning and relearning. Okay? So, and it's the mind that actually is what starts creating this identity, the identity that you have in relationship to, let's use money for this example, because that is one of the, that's one of the focuses that this Mercury retrograde edition, hello, Zoguil, that's quite the name there. That's quite the name there. That's one of the things that we're going to be focusing on is Like in essence, the tagline is pinch me, I get paid for this. Pinch me, I get paid for this. It's the art of writing your own fairy tale, but we're doing this in relationship to business and commerce and health. It's it's and I want to like this has been something that's a little it's been a challenge for me, and I enjoy challenges, is that the nature of this program is not linear. It's not linear. And so, if you're really looking for something linear, then this may not be the program for you, because that is the actual opposite of what Mercury retrogrades are about. This isn't about doing something in a linear way, where it's like, if I do A and then I put in C, then I'm going to get B and then I'm going to get C. That is Mercury, but that's not how the Mercury retrogrades. I'm going to show you, so it's like you have to learn how to shift and change and shift the pattern that you've been operating in, which probably most likely, I'm not going to say probably, has been flooded with way too much logical energy. There's been too many thought patterns that are ingrained that are making it difficult for the change to occur. That's making it difficult for the flow to happen. And money, the reason why it's called flow, why people say, yo, you got flow, is because money is about movement. The more flow that you have in life, the more open that you are, the more that you have access to flow, and your money will flow. The more that your money flows, that is the essence of money. Money is meant to flow. So if you have difficulty with making money, spending money, saving money, investing money, any of those things, because there's all these different ways to be with money. If you pinch, if you constrict, if it doesn't feel good, then you're literally blocking the flow of money and resource to you. So these are one of the things that we're going to be healing, essentially, inside of FAE, the art of writing your own fairy tale. But it's so much more than that. I mean, I would really be amiss, and this is coming back to that logic piece, to say this is a money program, this is a relationship program, this is a body program, this is a sex program, or I'm a body coach, relationship coach. This is a holistic. The essence of this is that it is holistic, which means by identifying and addressing where your glitch is, you're going to experience wealth and prosperity in every area of your life. You're going to start making connections in ways that you never made before. So let me give you for an example. Like, I've had so many people that will come to me and they'll be like, oh, like I got a pain in my neck or something. I'm just going to give you an example. I've got a pain in my neck, and I'll do something with their feet, or I'll talk to them about something totally different, or touch their back or whatever. And they're like, but I have a pain in my neck. I have a pain in my neck. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem isn't coming from your neck. And that's the problem, is that it's human nature to get fixated on the problem, and that we're not even really able to objectively see the whole picture and where it's coming from. So I'll give you another example of, I'll have people coming to me where, it's like they came to me and they've got like this one problem, and the next thing they know, they start having like incredible sex with their partner, and then they make a bunch of money. And it's like, that's not even what they came for. And it's because it's about opening up. It's about getting open. And when you get open, like I said, prosperity happens. You start experiencing growth and fertility and fecundity and expansion in all areas of your life, because that flood of energy and nutrition and water and whatever it is, you know what I mean? The magic, the love, starts flowing to all of those areas, all of them. So do you guys have any questions right now? Because I mean, I could riff like so much about this, and I'm kind of like identifying the glitch, and my clients experience that opening and they don't necessarily come to me for money. It's legit. Yeah, it's a thing. It's like such a thing because Mercury is about Mercury rules over the throat chakra, right? So it's about the connection between the mind and the heart. It's the rainbow bridge. It's connecting the masculine and the feminine, the logic and the illogical, the out and the in, the above and the below. It's heart coherence, essentially, is what Mercury rules over. It bridges the gaps between where we are and where we think we want to be. It brings them together. It's like when you feel like there's this going on, where it's like something's just out of reach, right? Or I want this, I want to go over there, you know, the grass is greener over there, you know, I don't have, I'm not enough. It does this. Because that's not the truth. And the throat chakra is about truth. And so if you're not being you, if you're not being all of you, if you're not being fully expressed, if you're editing or contorting or rehearsing or holding back in some area of your life, or just even in the present moment, if you're not being all of you, then that what happens is that part of you that you're not being starts to wither and die. And that part of you that starts to wither and die then starts sucking life force from the rest of the system. So now you have like a hole in the bucket. You're leaking out, you know, it could be a leak, you know, and that's also why Mercury rules over borders and boundaries. So that's a big theme that we're going to be delving into. If boundaries is like a thing for you, where it's like it's hard for me to, and I actually have a whole other approach of relating to boundaries. I'm not going to get into that. That's the work that we're doing inside of the course. But if boundaries, is an issue for you, you're not clear, you have anxiety, you feel blocked or stagnant. I'm telling you, this is for you. So I don't have questions at the moment. I'll be sharing more with you in the Telegram chat. Yes, I cannot. I'm so looking forward to that. Gotta go. Got me a date with the pole. Yes, girl, go and get it. Make love to the pole for me. I love you too. Mwah. So where was I going with that? Yeah, so the voice, right? Your truth, like fully expressing your truth is um is is Mercury, right? It's so if you're not being fully you, if you're not being fully expressed, you're not owning all of you, if you're like compartmentalizing, right? It's like, I can be like this with certain groups of people, and I can show up as myself with these people, but I can't be myself like this in front of these people. You're lying, essentially. You're lying. So Mercury is how you find your truth, what's true for you, how and where you're not being fully you. And for me, truth is an act of ruthless kindness. Ruthless honesty is a kindness. It's a kindness that you're doing to yourself and that you're doing to the world. So these are like the nitty gritty, like nuts and bolts of self leadership, charisma, and self expression. So if you have a message, that you want to bring to the world, to the masses, that you want to express, right? Like this is what it takes to be a leader, right? And there's a certain charisma, there's an energy, there's a magnetism, a specific mercurial magnetism that is behind this in this. So, we're also going to be going into style, and I don't want to, let me like come back. So And so, something that I want to make really clear, that this is what I was kind of riffing about at the beginning, is that, mainstream culture, mainstream society, right, is like quick fix solution, cookie cutter this. So what I see is like there's this like, oh, Mercury retrogrades, just do all the reads. And I say this with fucking mass love. You're missing the point. You are missing the mother loving point. Because the essence of mercurial retrogrades is alchemy. It's alchemy. And there is actually, like, if you don't, there's a certain way that you enter into the process, that there's a right and a wrong way to actually begin and initiate the process. And that if you don't enter it into the process correctly, it like, that's why beginnings and initiations are what they are. That's why they're significant. That's why in astrology, we even have like what are called first encounter meetings, right? Where we draw up charts. You can draw up a chart for the first time that you meet somebody. And that's also what astrological elections are, right? It's the birthplace of something. It's the beginning of something. It's the seeding of something. So that's why foundations, I'm always harping about why foundations are so important. Foundation, foundation, foundation. If you don't have something laid with a proper foundation, or you don't begin something correctly, and then what happens is you end up having to go back and redo it again. And that's also just sometimes part of the learning process. And then there's like, I'm not throwing shade on that. I'm just saying that, there's so many people missing the magic of the Mercury retrogrades, because it's like, oh, they'll just go and Google it. This information is not on Google. Nobody's going to teach it to you. Nobody's going to show you how to do it the way that I do it. And the way that I do it comes from a background of many, many, many disciplines. Doctor of Oriental Medicine, 5 elements, herbology, and methodology. I'm an artist, an athlete, a perfumer, a singer, a dancer. There's an entrepreneur, a mother, a wife. There's so many lenses and perspectives that is what I do. I synthesize and I find the thread of truth that weaves all of these different things together. So my programs are a distillation of how I have led myself through my life in all of these different areas. one of the things with, and that is, according to the astrological premier grimoire, the Picatrix, magic is the goal of the wise. It's to be well versed in all areas of life. Well versed in all areas of life. It's when if you want to consider yourself a magician, you have to have knowledge and be well versed in all areas of life. Even if it's like for example, like even understanding mechanics, even though I don't consider myself a mechanic, I make it a point to understand as much as I can the mechanics of a car or war or love, health, career, all of these different things. That is the goal of the why. So if this is all like tickling your fancy, if this is intriguing you, I highly, one of the reasons that I really love Mercury is because, arguably, like they say that the moon is the gateway drug to astrology. And that there's a lot of truth in that. Actually, the moon and Mercury are very similar, believe it or not. And we'll be going into that within, into FAE. However, Mercury rules over astrology. Like Hermes, according to myth, created astrology and astronomy, and divination. So, if you're wanting to learn about astrology and start, implementing astrological guidance, energy as a lens, into your arsenal, this is a great place to start, is with the Mercury retrograde cycle. It happens 3 times a year. So it's not like, oh, it's just going to be good for this like one cycle, one transit that I'm going through. It happens every year, 3 times a year, sometimes 4. So this is something that you will be able to use over and over again. This is actually something that I look forward to in my life. Like I get fucking excited like a kid in a candy shop when Mercury retrograde comes around, because I know it's time for a system upgrade. I know it's time for massive magic and miracles and synchronicity. And I bet on it. I literally bet on it because I know how to work it. And because I've been working it for a long time. It's something, it is one of my specialties. In fact, retrogrades are my specialty, but Mercury retrogrades for sure are one of my specialties. So gosh, I could just go on and on and on about this program. I mean, hence why I will be going on and on and on about it in the course. It's 40 days. It's 40 days and 40 nights. Material Girl in a Mystical World, the art of writing your own fairy tale. There's brand new content. And, because I have alumni. So for those of you guys who have been in past rounds and past editions, there's so much that I have been through since, even just Unicorn Legacy and things that I'm going to be, that have been woven now from Unicorn Legacy into, and the past FAE that we did last year. There's brand new, better, integrated stuff, or modules, and just my lived experience are going into this. I'm also, like I told you, I just choreographed a whole dance routine. So we're really going to be taking dance. Like I literally have created a dancing tonic for health and healing in your body. So actually dancing that is specific to working with the Mercury retrograde cycle, working with the organs and the channels, the elements that tend to go out of whack, that need to be brought back into harmony and balance during this time of year, for the Mercury retrograde cycle. So I'm like so fucking stoked about that. So it's like, imagine taking a potion, but it's a dance potion. It's a dance tonic. Oh my God, yo, I'm so freaking excited to share that with you. So, I was going to jam about the difference between the Mercury retrograde edition of Star Disco and Creme de la Muse, but I'm kind of feeling that the energy has died down now. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have questions about any of this, please reach out to me. hashtag replay, put it in the comments. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a lurker. I love connecting. I'm here to connect and to learn and to see how I can serve you, and play and just share this really cool stuff with you guys. Um, yeah, yeah, I was gonna say something, but I think that I'm gonna wrap it up. So right now, I will say this though, is that there's a flash sale that I'm running right now for FAE. It's $888. This course normally sells for $1,400. In fact, when this flash sale ends, it's going to go to $1,444. So I don't have an end date. I don't have like this is no predetermined time. It's until Hermes tells me otherwise. Um, and there's only 7 spots right now yeah, seven spots for this to be filled. So if this has your name on it, if this is speaking to you, $888, and there's a payment plan as well. So yeah, and then when the flash sale ends, it will go up to 1,444. It's 40 days. We begin April 30th. And it's going to run for 40 days. And this is a course. So it is, a combination of live coaching with me and also pre-recorded content. So, oh, and there's also a VIP upgrade though. So definitely, VIP upgrade, if you want to go all the way, like that's the way to roll. It's like there's some really delicious, just like extra things, different ways to work with me in VIP. So if you're interested in VIP, reach out to me as well. Okay. All right. That's it. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.